Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss about the testing of hypothesis. That is an important topic of research method in management. So let's first understand the concept of hypothesis testing. As we discussed already that hypothesis is an assumption or a statement that may be true or may not be true. The hypothesis tested on the basis of information obtained from a sample. Basically, hypothesis testing is an act in statistics whereby a researcher tests an assumption regarding a population parameter. The methodology employed by the researcher depends upon the nature of data used and the reason for the research. Hypothesis tests are used in business and industry for making decisions. The example could be whether a new drug is more effective than an existing drug based on the sample data, or whether the proportion of smokers in a class is different from 30%. As we discussed in our previous session that what is the null hypothesis and how to formulate the null hypothesis. Let's look at some example of null hypothesis again. You all know that the hypotheses that are proposed with the intent of receiving a reject for them are called null hypothesis. This requires that we hypothesize the opposite what is desired to be proved. For example, if we want to show that sales and advertisement expenditure are related, then we formulated the null hypothesis that they are not related. Similarly, if we want to conclude that the new sales training program is effective, then we formulated the null hypothesis that the new training program is not effective. One more example for this, if we want to prove the average wages of skilled worker in town 1 is greater than that of town 2, then we formulated the null hypothesis for this problem that there is no difference in the average wages of the skilled workers in both the towns. We call such hypothesis null hypothesis and it denotes by H0. Now, let's understand the alternative hypothesis. Rejection of null hypothesis leads to the acceptance of alternative hypothesis. The rejection of null hypothesis indicates that the relation between the variables or the difference between the means or the difference between the proportion have statistical significance, and the acceptance of null hypothesis indicate that these differences are due to chance. As already discussed, the alternative hypothesis specified that value or relation which the researcher believes hold true. The alternative hypothesis can cover a whole range rather than a single point. The alternative hypotheses are denoted by H1. Now we will see what is the hypothesis testing. Hypothesis is also known as significance testing. Sometimes the parameter does not have to be known or the basis of the sample, but the parameter is claimed. This claim is either accepted or rejected through hypothesis testing. The test can be one-tail or one-sided test or two-tail or two-sided test. A test is called one-sided test, either left-hand side or right-hand side test, only if the null hypothesis get rejected when a value of the test statistics fall in one specified tail of the distribution. Further, the test is called two-sided or two-tail test if null hypothesis gets rejected when a value of the test statistics fall in either one or the other of the two tails of the sample distribution. Let's look at an example of one-tail or two-tail test. Suppose a tire seller sells a tire. It claims that the average lifespan of his tire is 20,000 km. It is claimed on the basis of standard deviation of population. This claim may be true or false based on the mean of the sample. But before the hypothesis testing, it is important here to know which is the checking party. In the example of tire, there can be three types of sites: testing by the consumer, and the other side is testing by the tire manufacturer, or the next side is testing by an independent agency or a researcher. Hypotheses are of two types. The null hypothesis accepted the parameter, while the alternative hypothesis reject the parameter. Now let's see hypothesis related to the average lifespan of a tire. Here the null hypothesis for the consumer is mu more than equals to 20,000 km. The consumer view is unilateral. The null hypothesis will be rejected only when the tire runs low. If the tire exceeds the claim, the consumer will not wrong about it. This is the reason that the consumer significant level alpha will only be on the left side. Similarly, the approach of Saylor is also unilateral. Saylor will reject the null hypothesis only when the tire variety goes overbroad, even though it did not claim such a good quality. Hence, the Saylor significance level will be on the right side. Now, let's see the researcher approach. A researcher approach is not unilateral. His significance level will be divided on both sided. Now let's understand this by this diagram, where the Z value at 5% significance level would be of the following type in all three cases. In all three cases, the confidence level is 95%, but in the case of consumer, the significance level alpha is 0.5 in on the left side, while the confidence level is 0.45 plus 0.5, 0.95 is on the right hand side. In the Saylor position, the significance level is 0.5% is on the right side, while confidence level 0.05 plus 0.45 is on the left side, that you may be seen. In the case of researcher, the significance level is divided into two parts: alpha divided by 2.025 to the left hand side and 0.025 on the right hand side, while the confidence level is 0.475 plus 0.475 equals to 0.95. Now you can understand that it is necessary to determine the appropriate hypothesis and significance level while doing significance testing. Otherwise, the result is likely to be wrong. Now, let's discuss about the type 1 error and type 2 error. The acceptance or rejection of a hypothesis is based upon the sample results, and there is always a possibility of sample not being representative of the population. This could result in error, as a consequence of which inference drawn could be wrong. Two types of error are occur when conducting a hypothesis test relating to a research. If null hypothesis as 0 is true and is accepted, or as 0 when false is rejected, the decision is correct in either case. However, if the hypothesis as 0 is rejected when it is actually true, then the researcher is committing what is called a type 1 error. The probability of committing a type 1 error is denoted by alpha. This is termed as the level of significance. Similarly, if the null hypothesis as 0 when false is accepted, the researcher is committing an error called type 2 error. The probability of committing a type 2 error is denoted by beta. The situation could be depicted as given in the next figure. Let's look at the figure. When H0 is true and accepted, then the decision is correct. But if it is rejected, then the probability of committing a type 1 error, which denotes by alpha. Now let's see the next situation. When H0 is false and accepted, then the researcher is committing an error called type 2 error, denotes by beta. Or if H0 is false and rejected, then the decision is correct. We all know errors cannot be completely eliminated in hypothesis testing. When attempting hypothesis testing, most attempt to reduce the probability of the first type of error, alpha error, are made, while the second type of error, beta error, is not controlled. The first type of error, alpha, is called significance level. It is sometimes greatly reduced. In the case the null hypothesis is accepted, but due to this the probability of accepting the false null hypothesis also increase. The second type of error, beta, is not calculated in the usual order, but it is necessary to understand that it is not right to reduce the significance level too much. So it is generally good to keep the significance level at 5% instead of 1%. So, student, it was all about the testing of hypothesis and the type 1 error and the type 2 errors. I think you all have understand the topic and like the session. In our next session, we will discuss about the steps in testing of hypothesis exercise. Thank you all.